We officially now know every set coming out in the 2022 LEGO Star Wars Summer Wave, the one exception being the UCS set, which is now heavily rumoured to be a Razor Crest. Looks like I was wrong on that one. So this feels like as good a time as any to make some 2023 predictions, which at the time of recording this, we have absolutely zero information about. Not even a single rumour. The only information I have to go off are the upcoming TV shows from now until then, which are The Bad Batch Season 2, Andor and The Mandalorian Season 3. There are a few other things in there, but I don't think LEGO would make sets for them, so who cares? I'll start with the Microfighter. This year there was one, and I expect the same next year. For this prediction, I'm going to say it'll be in Mandalorian N1 Starfighter for €10, which will include one minifigure, that being the Beskar Mandalorian, same as we got from the Razor Crest last year. Another option I could definitely see happening is the Slave 1, which could easily go for the same price and include a Boba Fett minifigure, but the reason I'm leaning more towards the N1 Starfighter is that it's just much more of a hyped up ship at the moment. Another reason I think the N1 is more likely is that the Mandalorian Season 3 will be out within the month, so a trailer will likely drop around this set's launch. Whatever, it's just a Microfighter. Let's move on. Next are the accessory packs, and next year I think there'll be two, same as this year. The first one, potentially a bold prediction, is a Republic Commando accessory pack for €15, which will include 3 minifigures, them being just 3 Republic Commando troopers. I imagine one will be a different colour to the rest, maybe with yellow markings like they did with the Phase 1 clones. Especially with the Bad Batch Season 2 kind of relevant at this point, I think it's a good time. The next accessory pack I think will be a Rebel Troopers accessory pack for €15. This would include 3 minifigures, them being 3 Rebel Troopers, one in a red shirt, the other 2 in blue shirts. This would be the Episode 4 variants, which we haven't gotten in figure form for a very long time. Plus, it's original trilogy, so, the odds are in my favour here. The next set is the one and only battle pack I think they'll do next year, and that is the Death Trooper battle pack for €20. It could include 4 minifigures, 2 Death Troopers, and 2 Stormtroopers with the new white waist pieces. I think it'll be based on the episodes of Kenobi where they stood in front of the Stormtroopers. This feels like a good opportunity. The next set is the first playset of my predictions, and that'll be a Snowspeeder for €30, which would include 3 minifigures, them being a Snowspeeder pilot, a Snowtrooper, and 1 Hoth Rebel Trooper. They probably wanted to put out a Snowspeeder at the same time as the UCS AT-AT. €30 seems like a fair price for it, and I imagine it'll just come with some generic army builder type figures, so it can be viewed as like a pseudo battle pack with an appropriate, almost to scale ship build. Boring set on its own, but potentially cool if you're into building like a Hoth battle mock or something. The next set would also be a playset, and I'm guessing it'll be the Duel on Malachor set. It'd cost €50 and include 3 minifigures, them being Obi-Wan in his grey Jedi robes, Darth Vader with maybe a broken mask, although I highly doubt that, and a child Princess Leia. I decided this set would be the final duel between Darth Vader and Obi-Wan in episode 6 of the Kenobi show. It's not explicitly mentioned in the show where this duel takes place, but according to a very clickbaity article from Inverse.com, some people think it's set on Malachor. That's just for the concept of the set anyway. This would include a small skate pod build from that episode and a few small rocky landscapes with a few play features. The next set is another playset, and I'm guessing it'll be an Andor land speeder from the trailer for €40. This would include 3 minifigures, them being Cassian in a different outfit from the Ambush on Ferrix set, the blonde woman from the trailer at 49 seconds, and the named uniformed officer from 1:33 in the trailer crouched in front of the speeder exploding. If you couldn't tell, I'm grasping at straws here. The only material we have heard is the 2-minute trailer. I did spot the speeder, which could make for a solid set in the same vein as Han's land speeder from Solo. I imagine this will be broadly similar but for €10 more expensive with only a single generic figure added to it. My idea behind the blonde woman is that she looked important as she stood in that doorway, and I could see her maybe offering a ride in her speeder to help Cassian out of a pickle or something. As I said, I'm really grasping at straws here, but I mean, what else could I pick? The last and most expensive set I have for this January wave would be the T16 Skyhopper, which I think will be €90 and include 5 minifigs, them being Uncle Owen, 2 Tusken Raiders, and a T16 pilot, which I'm just doing the math on now is only 4 minifigures. Right. The main reason I included this was because of the T16 toy that featured a few times in the Obi-Wan Kenobi show that just finished up a few days ago at the time of writing this. I think we'll likely get more than 4 figures with this, but I seriously have no idea what they could be. So I'm just going to guess those 4 random figures located around Tatooine. This would be based on the original trilogy because the T16 only showed up in toy form in Kenobi. It's kind of a 50-50. And now the helmet collection wave. I think they'll do 2 unique helmets and 1 redesign of a previous one. For the first one, this time I think they'll redo the Stormtrooper shape and give us the rumoured and then scrapped AT-AT pilot helmet from last year. This would be €60. This was supposed to come out this year, but I think it got replaced by the Mandalorian helmet or the Dark Trooper helmet. So my prediction here is that it just got delayed a year and will come out with this wave. For For the next helmet, I'm going to predict it'll be a Phase 2 clone helmet for €60. A while ago, LEGO said that they're looking at the prequels as a potential avenue for future adult-focused sets, and they already strayed away with the original trilogy with the Mandalorian helmets last year, so I think it's definitely possible that we get a prequel helmet here. In fact, I'd say it's almost likely, and for the last helmet, I'm going to guess it'll be Fennec Shan's helmet for €60. Given that she was pretty much a main character in Book of Boba Fett, and even showed up a few times in Bad Batch Season 1, potentially again in Season 2, I can definitely see LEGO making a Fennec Shand helmet for this wave. It's also a pretty unique helmet shape and would fit in nicely with Boba, Din, and the Dark Trooper helmets. And now the Diorama Collection sets. I think they'll do 2 diorama sets as opposed to 3 like the first wave. These are easily the hardest sets to predict because the Diorama Collection could literally be any scene in Star Wars, but I'm going to assume that they're going to do more original trilogy scenes. For the first diorama, I'm going to guess it'll be a Desert Skiff diorama. This would be €90 and includes 6 minifigures, these being an Episode 6 Luke, Chewbacca, Han Solo with dual molded legs, Lando Calrissian in skiff guard armor, and 2 skiff guards. I can definitely see a nice diorama with like a floating desert skiff above the most detailed Sarlacc pit we've seen to date, filled with way too many small pieces just to bump up the price. Based on the 6 minifigs I think they'll include, I think it'll be the same price as the trash compactor. In terms of the quote on the plaque, I think it'll either be "His Excellency hopes that you will die honorably," "The Great Jabba the Hutt will now listen to your pleas," or "This is your last chance, Frios or die." I think it's most likely the last one. And the other diorama I think will be the Cloud City Carbon Freezing diorama. I think it'll cost €80 and include 5 minifigures, them being Han Solo with dual molded legs, Princess Leia from Episode 5, Darth Vader, Boba Fett, and an Ugnaught. I think that's how you pronounce it. The main reason I'm fairly confident in this one is the quote, "I love you, I know." It's also a set that lends itself well to a diorama. Yoda's hut was a small playset in 2018 that eventually got remade into the Dagobah Jedi training diorama, and I can definitely see the same thing happening here with the carbon freezing chamber from 2017. And finally, we have the May UCS set. I really want to guess the UCS X-Wing again. It's due a remake. You could easily justify the price hike from 200 to 230 with it because it's as safe as it gets in terms of ships. It's also as relevant as ever with Disney's obsession with this era and showing us live-action X-Wings. I have to. I'm sorry. I know it's boring, but it's just the set I'm most confident in for a UCS remake. I think we'll get 3 figures with this: a Luke Skywalker, a Biggs Darklighter, and an R2-D2, excluding the helmet molds unfortunately, because I can't see them producing it again just for this single set, even though they were much better in my opinion. But yeah, that's my prediction, and that's it for this video. Hopefully by the time I publish this, there won't be any major leaks to immediately tell me I'm wrong, like what happened with the last predictions video. Thanks for watching, especially if you listen to my reasoning for each. Let me know if you disagree. I think it's a really fun thing to discuss at this early stage. And yeah, farewell.